We continue to look at all the earnings, the names on the move, and how about we look at Block? Now, it used to be Square, the ticker symbol's XYZ. The earnings are due out after the close. And Schwab Network's Marley Kayden is taking a look at this name.
Good morning, Nicole. Yeah, their expectations for Block are a little bit mixed coming into Q2 right now. Analysts bullish overall, but they are expecting an EPS that would mark a year-over-year decline of about 35%. Right now, that's expected to come in at 60 cents. Revenue expected to be at $6.32 billion. That would be up about 3% year-over-year. As far as gross profit is concerned, expected to be up close to 10%. Operating income expected to be up as well, with an operating margin of about 18%. Gross payment volume, a really important metric for them. Estimates stand at $66.11 billion right now. That would also be up more than 6% year over year. And for Square specifically, which is going to likely be their primary driver of growth for this quarter, they're expecting high single-digit GPV growth in the second quarter, with just the month of April growth projected to be close to 10% year over year. Block has been trying to strengthen its fintech ecosystem through its two platforms, Square and the other one being Cash App. Square is regaining market share, though. They are getting more, and there has been a spat of positive news for Block during the second quarter. They launched the Square handheld in the United Kingdom. They have a partnership with Square and Live Nation Canada. They had Cash App team up with the WNBA All-Star Angel Reese, so a really good partnership there to draw some visibility for them. And they have a partnership with Bamboo Dessert Drinks to streamline and centralize their operations. So a lot of positive news in this headline-driven market for them. But, you know, transaction revenues are going to be important. They are expected to be up. A lot of their revenue is expected to be up. Bitcoin revenue expected to be down, though, from the prior year quarter. They have cited a lot of macro challenges like trade tariffs and softer discretionary spending. So that's dampening a lot of the activity, particularly on the Cash App side, Nicole.
Yeah, and I was looking. I mean, I saw Cathie Wood of ARK had dumped out. We were talking about the inclusion of XYZ into the S&P 500, and she sold out. It's very interesting. I mean, I know it's been a choppy chart, too, but what else are we looking for? Anything you want to add there?
You know, as we look at the analysts, I think they're not optimistic about the second quarter performance itself, but overall, 69% of them hold a buy rating, 22% hold a hold rating. So bullish on the stock itself. I think just the quarter performance, like Morgan Stanley just downgraded them yesterday and said that that downgrade was because most of the anticipated acceleration of Square is already built into the price right now, and it's built into expectations. So it's not that they don't see a positive future, it's just that they think it's already built in.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked up, by the way, the Cathie Wood move there, I didn't have it up before, 4.8 million, and they're talking about it being a heavy Bitcoin company, too. How about the crypto part of the story?
The crypto part of the story is one of the parts that's not a bright spot right now. Consensus estimate for Bitcoin revenues is to come in at $2.52 billion. Now, that would be up from the prior quarter, but it would be down from the prior year period. So it would be disappointing because the prior year quarter fell in tax season. So spending is sort of a different, it's a different metric there in that particular quarter for Block. But with it coming down year over year, that's one of the only revenue areas they are looking at a decline. So Bitcoin will not be their primary driver, at least if the estimates are correct.
Yeah, understood. Marley Kayden, great to see you. Good luck there at XYZ today at 76.67 ahead of the quarterly numbers. And we're not done with Block yet. Joe Tigay, portfolio manager of the Rational Equity Armor Fund, is with us, and you're taking a look at this name, and you have an example trade for us, right?
Yeah, just looking at this name ahead of the earnings. It's a company that has lacked some consistency when it comes to some of their earnings reports. They've had a great quarter, of course. They're low of 44 this year, all the way back up to the mid-70s, 76 and some change right now. So it's a company that I'd love to see more consistency. Just consistent to the upside would be the best case scenario, naturally. But looking at the market as a whole, we're seeing a much more of a risk-on appetite this week. So I think there might be some excuses if they don't give us the best case scenario. And I'm just looking at the market pricing in a 10% move on earnings. So I want to give myself a 10% cushion and then sell a downside put spread. That's what I'd just be looking at. So I want, I'm expecting a smaller than the market is expected move, looking to buy it if it does go down. I do think there's potential on a fantastic earnings, a blowout to the upside. I'm not really expecting that. Otherwise, I would have put on an iron condor where I could sell an upside call spread on top of this trade. But I'm just looking at, I think if there is a downside move, it'll be less than the market is anticipated. So I'm just looking at that put spread, 70.65 expiring tomorrow, collecting 95 cents for me. I think that's a really good risk reward. If it does race through there, I'll have to buy block a little bit lower. But again, I'm comfortable that I think we will recover later on in the year.
And, Morgan Stanley this week actually downgraded this name. They put a $73 price target, and they put an equal weight rating from overweight. So Morgan Stanley a little bit less hot on XYZ. BTIG, on the other hand, has an $80 target, and which they raised recently with a buy rating. So I like to look at the latest moves because I feel like they are doing their homework right ahead of the earnings. So there you have it. But that downgrade from Morgan Stanley and BTIG, upgrade. Ups the price target. How about your market thought, Joe?
Yeah, broadly, it's been a fascinating week. We had the really bad jobs number last Friday, brought volatility up over 20, 22 maybe on the high on the VIX index, and we've come all the way back since then. Just a fantastic week. Good news all around. We're seeing a lot of earnings that have been better than expected. And with the market, just in general, just watching these stocks, like thinking of Square today and in this earnings, the market's rewarding these growth companies if they up their guidance. If they have a great quarter, that's fine, but we're really looking about the next few quarters. So it's really critical. You got to do both. You got to set the standard high. Now companies like Palantir, that is the standard in the market. And I think we're looking at these utilizing the AI right now and making some gains in that corporate-wise. I think that's what the market is looking for. And I think that goes hand in hand. These corporate profits and the jobs numbers, they're going hand in hand. Softer jobs numbers, meaning companies are using AI, leaning into that, maybe doing a little less hiring. And the AI beneficiaries of all this is, we're using this AI to take over some of these jobs. So I think that's the story that we're looking at. AI is here, and it's here to stay.
All right, Joe Tigay, it's great to see you or hear you. Portfolio manager, Rational Equity Armor Fund. Joe Tigay, thank you.